This is Dante Bosco,
My name is McGill.
one of the founders of the Poetry Line.
I'm the executive director and founder of Say Word, a non-profit organization in Los Angeles.
And you're invited to join us
On July 1st,
to watch the live stream of the Charity Slam,
please tune in
July 1st at Maker Studios.
and join us for all of the fun and the amazing poetry to raise money and awareness for spoken word through youth development in Los Angeles.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Say Word and DPL All-Star Charity Slam. Give it up for yourselves for coming out today. Give it up for yourselves for looking out, watching online. So we're going to get started. So we have a wonderful show planned for y'all. This is a cause raising money for Say Word, which is a youth organization based in spoken word in Los Angeles, and the Poetry Lounge, which is the largest weekly open mic in the country. So what we want to do is we want to spread the word about these two organizations and have fun while doing it. We want to enlighten some people, get people into what spoken word is and what it can be. So every time someone comes up on stage, other than myself, who you will also clap for, you're going to clap for everyone who steps up here because it's difficult to get up here and share your story. So please make sure you share. And we're going to test right now. So everybody clap it up real quick. All right. So also, along with this slam that's going on, we're going to have some special commentating by SEKOU, the Misfit Andrew. So give it up for SEKOU. Give it up for SEKOU. And SEKOU, tell the judges what's going on.
What's up, guys? This is SEKOU Andrews here at the Charity Slam. We're about to throw down. I'm going to give you a background on Slam real quick. Slam has been critical in the resurgence of the spoken word art form because it turns spoken word into sport. So what happens is you have 5 random audience members who are asked to judge a slam, right? Now, I'm not sure how many we have here. Might be 5, might be 3. We're sort of playing with the rules here for the Charity Slam, but typically you got 5 judges. They're given a scorecard, and they will judge the poet's performance. Poets are asked to do, normally under Nationals rules, a 3-minute poem. Here, I think we're gonna, have a little bit of a Charity Slam lenience and allow you a little bit more poetry from the poet. So we're talking about 4 minutes, often with a 10-second grace period. They have to do an original piece, use no props, use no costumes, and usually it's judged off of 50% content, 50% delivery. They want it to be accessible, but they want to make it come alive on the stage. And all of this is to make sure that you not only enjoy the poetry and give you a sense of what a slam is like from some of the world's best poets out here, slam poets and spoken word artists, but also so that you can contribute to the organization. So make sure that you are donating. If you hear something that you like, give. If you hear something that you don't like, give and say, I'm giving this so that the poet can be better. Whatever the reason is, make sure you give to the Charity Slam, and we're going to make sure we blaze the stage here. SHIHAN, talk to me.
Give it up for SEKOU one more time. Give it up for SEKOU. All right, so one thing we want to do is we want to introduce the judges because this might be the only time you clap for them. So first judge, put your hands together for Kevin. Give it up for Kevin. Kevin is an incredible magician who will show you some stuff later. Judge number 2, give it up for Dion. Give it up for Dion. He's an incredible dancer. Amazing. All right, third. Oh, now I just met him earlier. He's incredible as well. Put your hands together for Sipes. Give it up for Sipes. Like your suit. Judge number 4, give it up. All from Los Angeles. Give it up for Ricky, y'all. Give it up for Ricky. Ricky Shucks. And our final judge who claps this way, not this way, because it's better this way. Give it up for Alicia, y'all. Give it up for Alicia. All right, so judges, understand the rules. You're scoring the points on a scale of 0 to 10. You understand that. Use decimal points to avoid the ties. All right, so coming up to the stage, we have a calibration poet. Now, a calibration poet is a poet who is not competing in the slam, but will be judged as if they were competing in the slam. Judges, this is your guinea pig to test your scoring skills out on. So what you want to do, listen to the poem, judge right after. Don't worry about judging in this setting because judging is good here. So, coming up to the stage right now, your calibration poet. Put your hands together for King, y'all. Give it up for King.
So I'm gonna start off this poem in the most cliche way possible and say, I remember the first time I saw you. You were standing against a wall in silver, and I didn't notice you because you were the only white person at a Black student union meeting at NYU, even though I definitely did have some questions about that. No, I noticed you because your eyes grasped onto a girl's from across the room whose defenses you shot right in the knees without even trying. What I'm saying is that it felt a lot like I could pull my throat up out of my mouth, place it into your open palms, and close my eyes and trust that you'd know how to make the right noise out of me. On our first date, I marveled at you in Bopes with the same wonder of a child seeing fireworks for the first time. Call it a first kiss, but I remember dipping my teeth into your swollen mouth, swirling my lips and wanting to come away in all that was violent and violet about you. After that night, I wanted to kiss you in every inch of New York City until every pedestrian complained to the NYPD that we were too damn happy for them and we got imprisoned for being crazy in love. And yes, I just quoted a Beyonce song, but baby, what I'm trying to say is that I want to kiss you as much as I want to be Beyonce, and that's really saying some romantic shit right there for me. Anyways, you know me, I get off track. I wanted to kiss you until we became two people falling in love like the leaves do with autumn. We, so full of heart, made of mouth-seeping promises and dirty desires. We didn't know what we were saying half the time, but it sounded a lot like please. Love me until tomorrow morning every single night. This was when we realized we forgot the first name of every past lover. The second we learned each other's, you said my name like it could render you boneless. I said yours like it was the only heaven I knew how to speak of and actually believe in. I remember one morning I asked you to dust my spine for us to discover your fingerprints, building a forever I could only wish never knew how to collapse. But sometimes geography can't prevent this. I started to lose myself in 3,000 miles and how easy it was for us to forget the night that we held each other crying on Thompson Street in Soho. We didn't know if we were still existing or not. All we knew was that flowers could still bloom in the dark if they wanted to. This and us became swallowing beer bottle shards. Everything was a drunken open wound by the end, but it was a brave thing to be loved by you. It is a brave thing to be loved at all. I turned so many different colors, trying to be the sunrise you could wake up to in New York City, that the last time you let go of my hand 2 years ago in April, I was blinding white. I was the sun clawing its way out of the clouds in Washington Square Park. I was illuminating from the darkness that we were stitched in. And this is what you meant by saying it was the bravest thing you ever did to let me go. But don't be too brave, baby. Be my favorite shadow. Be too much, yet nothing at all. Don't touch me ever again, only because I don't think I could handle the temporary of it. Instead, always be trailing from a short distance behind. And I realize, as I say that out loud, that does sound a little stalkerish, but I like that thirsty shit anyways, you know me. Just keep my memory with you until the stars flicker out of existence and until we forget how we ever learned each other's first names the minute we meet our next forevers.
Give it up for King one more time. Keep it going for King. Keep it going for King. All right, judges. On the count of 3, you're going to write your scores down. Then you're going to face them towards me. I'm going to read them out loud. Scorekeeper's going to read them back to me and tell me what the final score for the poet is. So 1, 2, and 3. Scores up. All right, from low to high, we have a 6.5. We have an 8.1. We have an 8.7. We have an 8.9, and we have a 9.2. Give it up for the poet and not the score. Use 1 decimal point from this point on, not 2. All right. So, y'all ready for the first poet of the slam? Yes? All right, coming up to the stage, please put your hands together for your first poet. Give it up for Javon Johnson, y'all. Give it up for Javon Johnson.
A generic love letter to my unborn daughter. Baby girl, you should know that your dad only knows 2 options. He knows go hard or go home. He knows nothing in between. You'll soon learn that your dad also loves this way. You'll have a hard time understanding how anyone in this world could ever call me mean. Not my dad, you'll say. He's the kindest man in the world. Someday, baby girl, you'll come to understand that I reserve the sweetest parts of myself just for you. See, on random nights, We would slow dance together till we tire out and fall asleep. On random days, we would dress in our finest clothes and go wherever you like. We would share inside jokes so big that you could imagine forever on them. And every morning, the first thing on your birthday, I would wake up and sing a song that I wrote just for you. This will be very cute up until the time you turn 18 and I show up to your college dorm. Your friends will say, your dad's a bit psycho, and you will say, yeah, he is. But it's the best way to be loved. Baby girl, you should know that there are drawbacks to this kind of love. You should know that when you go on your first date, I will be there. I will put my arm around this person, whisper softly in their ear, whatever you do to her, I will gladly do to you. You both should know that your dad spent a few days in jail, so I'm comfortable with all kinds of stuff. Listen, baby girl, if ever you want to wear those short shorts with your butt hanging out, then guess what dad's gonna do? He's gonna wear himself a pair, and our asses are gonna hang out together the way God intended for family. We'll see how cute you think it is then. And if you want to go around sleeping with all the guys in the world, then guess what your dad's gonna do? He's gonna go around, he's gonna sleep with all the guys in our, hold on, listen, baby girl, a few things. First things first, dad went to a place that now everyone's uncomfortable, and for that he's sorry. Second, dad's not gonna sleep with a bunch of guys, not because there's anything wrong with it, it's just not his thing. And there's not that there's anything wrong with sleeping with people, per se, because see, baby girl, when two people love each other, the way your mother and I do, and it's not even always about love, sometimes, you know what, I never wanted to have this conversation with you, go talk to your mother about this. 3, baby girl, dad understands the problems with slut shaming. Knows the issues with calling women whore and slut is grounded in sexism and patriarchy. It's about insecure men who are too afraid of women owning their own body. Daddy wants you to own your own body, wants you to know what it's like to live life as if humans were made to jump out of airplanes without parachutes, wants you to be everything you need to be in this world. Be a bad mother, be a rolling ball of butcher knives, learn how to scream no and mean it, be a wild-haired trigger pistol with no safety, be as loud as the day you were born and mean it. I cannot wait to sing the first song to you. Look who's just born, screaming like a crazy horn. And I don't even really know what that means.
Javon Johnson, killing it as the first poet in the Charity Slam. Javon Johnson represents both the academic side of spoken word and slam, as well as the performance side. 2-time National Poetry Slam Championship, HBO Deaf Poet Verses and Flow, and a PhD, right? And Javon was on my winning team for Nationals 2003 in Chicago. So this is my brother. Javon Johnson is the first poet in the Charity Slam. Give it up for him. Make sure that you give your round of applause by making some donations. SHIHAN, where are we at with the scores?
All right, thanks, SEKOU. Give it up one more time for Javon Johnson. Give it up for Javon. Judges, on the count of 3, put your scores in the air. 1, 2, and 3. Scores up. All right, from low to high, we have an 8.8. We have an 8.9. We have a 9.0, a 9.4, and a 9.5. Give it up for the poet and not the score. Also, what I forgot was the calibration poet. The score of the calibration poet was a 25.7. So, the score for Javon was a 27.3. Give it up for Javon. Give it up for Javon. Also, before I throw this back to SEKOU, you need to make some noise. Everyone getting up here needs the energy, so make sure you make some noise each time they get up here. You give noises for the judges' scores. If you don't like the scores, you boo the judges. If you like the scores, you clap for the judges. Those are your options. You can't be silent. It's messed up. So, let's go back. SEKOU, what you got for me, man?
Thanks, SHIHAN. I'm here with Javon Johnson. How was it being the first poet in the Charity Slam?
It was cool, man. I had a good time. You know, it's a charity slam. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just, you just go up there and you do your thing, and you hope that the people out there donate for such a good cause.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you spit a poem about you know, how important a child was to you, right? So how important is this organization to you for you to be doing this slam?
This organization is incredible, right? So like when I first saw Kat do her thing, when she wanted to put this together early on before it became what it is now, I was just going to watch, just to support. I came and I paid to watch the slam. I knew Kat was doing her thing with the youth, and I was like, I want to be a part of it, just paying. And when I saw the slam, I literally at the end of it went to Kat and say, I'm gonna help coach.
Right.
I want to be a part of this beyond just giving you $5 tonight, and I helped her coach the slam team for the first 2 years, and I've been involved as much as I can ever since.
That's fantastic. So what are your hopes for the round, and what are your hopes for the slam in terms of donations? Are you gonna take it, Javon?
Listen, it is what it is.
We know it's hard being the first poet up, right? We know that. You got the score creep going up there, you know what I'm saying?
Even if I don't take it, it's all good. What I hope for is that it's a good slam and that the people donate, man. And look, this is a great cause, and I really hope the people donate and put money to it.
But inside the slammer in you, still,
the competitive guy in me.
Yeah, you still want blood, right?
The competitive guy in me always wants to win.
That's right. That's right.
Even when there's no stakes.
That's right. You still want to, because that's the thing about slam is that you ultimately are like, I got to come in and dominate, right? You want to dominate on the stage. We want to dominate in the donations, right? We want to make sure that at the end of the day, that's the win-win. So I appreciate you being the first poet up at the charity slam. Absolutely. We're going to take it back to SHIHAN and see what the scores were. Can we do that?
Peace.
Let's do it.
All right, y'all, give it up. That was dope. Give it up for Javon one more time. And SEKOU back there doing his thing. So, judges, everybody, y'all ready for the second poet of the slam? Yeah. All right, coming up to the stage right now is also a dope poet, and he's the founder of the Poetry Lounge. So put your hands together for Dante Bosco, y'all. Give it up for Dante.
Where are you from? Well, that's a loaded question. See, I grew up in a blue-collar town, simply meaning the blacks and the browns, and me being of that category, plus my pops made less than 40. Jeezy, it's clear to see that me, I be, well, blue-collar. Better yet, broke most of the time, even better, poor. But when you're young and you're poor, you don't know that you're poor. It never occurs to you that you don't have a bed. Everyone sleeps on the floor. 13 in a house, one bathroom, someone always knocking on the door. At least it was fun. Let's get back to where we started. Where are you from? See, where I'm from, there are cops and there are gangsters, also known as gangbangers, not unlike the cops and robbers of the movies. But unlike the movies, it's not so black and white. There are areas of gray, and that is to say it's hard to distinguish the difference between being pulled over by a cop and being hit up by a gangster. Both evoke a bit of pain in the pit of your stomach. I think it's anger masked by shame. Maybe I get ahead of myself. Let me explain. Followed by a cop. Follow 6 blocks, stop by a cop, he pulls you over, he looks at you as if you are a mark. Where are you from? He does not wait for you to reply. Instead, he accuses you as you deny. You're from the east side. No, sir, bow your head, don't look him in the eyes. It's embarrassing sitting on the curb watching the cars drive by. But being where I'm from, that's just another part of my life. Now, when it comes to the gangbanger, all you got to be is a stranger. When he asks you where you from, you can feel it laced with danger. So watch what you say next because you're playing with death. So don't claim the East and don't claim the West. Matter of fact, same rules apply. Bow your head, don't look him in the eyes. I ain't from nowhere, man. I'm just some guy. But see, he too sees you as a mark. But they don't really see you, your face or your heart. All they see are marks. Me being me, I got a few tricks up my sleeve. Messed up situations, I got a few of those by simply picking my nose. That's right. Picking my nose, check it. When the cop pulls up, I can feel the heat in his eyes, or a Regal filled with gangsters pulls up next to my side. I pretend I don't see them. I casually try to pick a booger from my nose. And for a second, just a moment, I'm exposed to be a man, not a mark, a human being just like you. Don't lie, you got boogers too. Now the cop, he just continues to roll down the street, and the gangsters, well, they just laugh, and then they just leave. Sometimes when you see a little bit of yourself in someone else, it can set you free. And the funny thing is, I'm probably from where they're from. The other side of town, and I'm just trying to get home.
Dante Bosco, showing us the power of this art form of spoken word. It's storytelling, it's comedy, it's theater, it's tragedy, all mixed into one. That's the beauty of spoken word as an art form, and slam brings out the competition of it. Dante is also a heavy performer, right? He's been in movies. You might recognize him as Rufio from Hook. He's been in Avatar, and he's got his own YouTube channel. So, you know, he really brings out the actual performance side of spoken word in addition to some great writing. I'm excited to see what Dante's scores are. Where we at, She?
All right, cool. Judges, on the count of 3, put your scores in the air. 1, 2, and 3. Judges, put your scores up. All right, you remember, audience, what you're supposed to do. All right, we have an 8.5. We have an 8.7. We have an 8.8. We have a 9.6. And we have a 10. Give it up for Dante one more time. SEKOU, what you got for us?
I'm here with Dante Bosco after his performance in round 1 of the Charity Slam. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm just so happy to be here, you know, here at Maker Studios and really raising money for this great organization. It's really we're really proud, us DPL, me and SHIHAN, DPL, the Poetry Lounge,
Yeah.
in association with Say Words, really great organization for the kids.
Well, and the thing is, like, you were at the inception of this idea, putting the Charity Slam together. You were at the inception of this idea, and you were at the inception of the Poetry Lounge, which I believe was originally Dante's Poetry Lounge.
Yeah, you know, we go back. You know the history.
That's right, that's right. And the Poetry Lounge has been my home venue for like the past, 10, 12 years. It's been a staple in Los Angeles, largest weekly open mic, longest running, right?
Yeah, definitely, especially in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You'll see tonight, a lot of these cats performing tonight are all friends and are beasts and giants like
right.
yourself in the poetry world. And so I'm just blessed and fortunate to be a part of this whole scene for the last few decades.
Well, you know, the Poetry Lounge as a monster on the poetry scene, and Say Word as a monster in the educational spoken word scene, coming together like this to actually, create funds and create opportunities for these young poets is just amazing. And the fact that you are sharing your work up here is and contributing to that, both on the back end and on the stage. I mean, that's got to make you feel good.
It feels amazing, and you'll see amazing poets tonight. And Say Word works with like over 500 students a year, getting them into college literacy and poetry. So it's a really, really worthy cause. And what you see is this is what we do. We're
right.
poets, and we talk about life and how we see the world. And it's a really, really important art form. And Say Word is really the next generation of what you're seeing today.
That kind of vulnerability, that's what leads to the leadership that we want in this world. And we have to donate. We have to give to it. So make sure that you are clicking and pulling out your wallets.
Every
and your
dollar
PayPals
counts.
and your
Every dollar
checkbooks,
counts.
All of it. If you hear something, say word for us with your wallets and your checkbooks. We appreciate you. Let's go back and check out them scores. SHIHAN, where you at?
All right, cool. Thanks a lot. Give it up for Dante Bosco one more time. Scorekeeper, what was the score for Dante's poem? 27.1. We got a 27.1 for Dante. Give it up for Dante one more time. All right. Poet number 3 coming up to the stage right now. Y'all ready? Put your hands together for Thea MONYEE, y'all. Give it up for Thea MONYEE!
As we lay in green pastures and rest beside the still waters, we fail to see that this cup is running over. Fail to see the water rising past ankles to knees, or to hear the desperate screams of the drowning. It is far more comforting for all of us to believe that they are all just hydrophobic. Society's response to their cries is to create systems, be it foster, educational, or prison, cleverly disguised as helping hands reaching out to muddy water populations, offering salvation while all the while refusing to get dirty, flirting with the illusion of unity while systematically avoiding issues plaguing low-income communities. See, I see the disparity. Watch purple files grow from infancy to teen, change to Manila, trade in their lives for orange jumpsuits or army green. It seems the people have been misled to believe that these institutions were placed here for our benefit. The general public never questions it. Most believe the youth to be voiceless because they choose to suffer in silence. Others will act out with violence, while still there will be the few who choose to use the pen to forge their rebellion. Battalions of ballerinas and musicians who live by a creed that crescendos off the walls of should-be empty group homes, then trickles down tear-stained windows. See, they know they are a force to be reckoned with, a power to be recognized, as raw as an undisturbed diamond and as valuable as undiscovered oil beneath the earth's surface. All three have monumental purpose when placed into the right hands, but far too often they are not. Forced onto city blocks to be educated in the school of hard knocks, but not all of our children fall victim to the system. Picasso still paints pictures using 14-year-old fingertips and spray cans, writing in block letters that few can understand. See, they can still feel color in their veins. It's a shame most of us are too grown to appreciate, too stoned to see the poetry in your average 15-year-old MC's hip-hop lyrics, too afraid to crack open his metaphors, see the pain in his pores and deal with it. Mistake Jesse Owens for a hoodlum hopping ghetto fences as though that next step is the only thing that matters. Evidence that this illusion can all be shattered. Living artifacts of the art, in fact, they memorialize our ancestors with their their passion. Turn dreams into action with few stars to wish upon. Only the prayer that some still exist beyond the smog and the gun smoke. Provoked often, learning their craft in the most distracting of environments. Staying focused on hard work and their mom's early retirement, and we forget to remind them of their value. Lose their compliments amidst our disdain for their peers. Yet and still they raise themselves throughout those pivotal years. God bless the child who wipes away his own tears, who tap dances to music that only his ears can hear, practices plies, leaps, and backflips with no fear, who strives for the gold even when no one shows up to cheer. Here's for you, the youth whose truth has been buried beneath media stereotypes, funded by federal dollars, raised by blue collars that you will never have to wear. I swear, our children are not lost. Our youth are still here.
This is the power of this art form. This is the power of these artists. I mean, listen to the message that she gives about foster children and their power, their amazingness, their resilience. Poetry and spoken word has a way to reach people and reach these issues like no other art form. I'm so proud to be a part of this community, and I'm so proud to have Thea as my sister, because this has been my little sister in poetry. But not just that, she's an HBO deaf poet. She's a licensed therapist. She's the owner of a wellness center, Canvas Creative. She's an amazing poet, not just on the stage, but an amazing person helping and speaking and working in action towards these issues off the stage. And that's why we're all here, hoping that you join us in supporting this. Let's check out what Thea's scores were in the Charity Slam.
Give it up one more time for Thea, y'all. Give it up for Thea. Judges, put them scores in the air. 1, 2, and 3. Scores up. Oh, snap. From low to high, we have a 9.4. We have a 9.5. We have a 9.8. We have a 10. And we have another 10. Give it up for Thea. That is a total score of, as I do my score pose, 8.8.
What was it? 0.8?
SEKOU, what you got for us?
All right, Thea, the scores are in, but we know that it's not about the scores for this.
the scores.
Tell me what it's about. What brought you here to the Charity Slam?
Say Word brought me here to the Charity Slam. Anytime Say Word is doing anything, I'm there. These kids are amazing. The work that Kat and these teachers are dedicated to doing is amazing. I've been in the classrooms.
Yeah.
I've been at the events that they throw, and the heart is there. And that's not there with every organization.
It's not. And the thing that's so unique about Say Word is the fact that they are inside of one of the hardest school systems to get inside, LA Unified.
Absolutely.
A 12-week program taking over the entire language arts or English program and teaching kids literacy and responsibility and leadership through a spoken word curriculum. Is that not a dream come true?
They're also teaching social skills. They're also teaching healing. I mean, that curriculum is so thorough and it was so well thought out. Going to see it in the classroom, these are really challenging environments sometimes. And the teachers are dedicated and the students are inspired and excited and creating. And by the end of that 12-week, you have a new student, you have a new poet, you have a new person.
I have built my business off of blending inspirational speaking and spoken word poetry as a poetic voice. You've built your business off of blending therapy and spoken word poetry. Kat and Say Word is blending curriculum and education and spoken word poetry. I mean, is this not an amazing organization that helps show poets what they can be when they grow up? It doesn't have to just be starring artists. It doesn't have to just be release a book. We're actually blazing new trails so that when these kids come out of the school system, they actually have paths that they can use for their art form.
Absolutely.
That's to me what's so powerful about it.
Absolutely. I mean, those are 3 examples of building something that didn't exist. And we created it. And that's what we teach the students. That's what Say Word empowers them to do, that anything you create can actually manifest in real life. And that's exactly what they're taught, and that's what they start to believe, even despite their circumstances.
And that is why we need you to donate. Let's see what Thea's scores were, all right?
All right, give it up one more time for Thea. Thea. All right, so that is a score correction. We have a 29.3 for Thea. So give it up for Thea one more time. With a 29.3. Also coming up to the stage, put your hands together for the next poet. Give it up for Bocea. Give it up for Bo.
Sup, internet? I'll be honest, y'all, don't listen to the specificity of my words, but more the wholeness of the energy. This poem is called Boys Will Be Boys.
Everywhere I go, there are men still hung up on their cocks, still driving like dominance is a cure-all, still working like proving you're better is the only way forward, still fighting like winning erases loss. What old-timey king from long ago taught so many little lords that castles were made for spoils? What ancient prince who knew women as only property led tribes into society? What civilization began the trend that the emperor's gender is the gender of all leaders? What early man, bursting with jewels, handed down the doctrine that hierarchy's peak is to rule over all? What history has been erased in order to preserve the history of bellies full on greed? In another age, saber-toothed tiger encounters were always lethal. Leading the hunt was a question of survival. The enemy killed, afraid of death returning in the night when darkness was full of dangerous mystery. There was a time when the spear was solution for what we yet learned to communicate. A gun was more useful before our words taught the higher value of a man alive. The fear which demands control carried more weight when dogs were more wolf, when scarcity wasn't man-made, when the sky was the realm of an angry god shaped like a man. So tell me, why are skyscrapers still so defiant of science? Why is governance still rooted in territory and threat? Why do boys still call other boys gay until their eyes no longer reflect the moon? There's a security blanket no longer needed. Progress proving the poor choice of hoarding toys, of breaking toys as a way to get mommy to listen, of making that which breathes into toys for show and tell, of coveting toys only to lock them in chests, of using toys to tune out what the adults are fighting over. It's been millennia plus since the little boy was taught his equal. A little girl is more than a politician's humanizing story. Your little girl fights for her dream and the right to have it. The little girl only benefits the past if she stays that way deep down. Little girls are just like little boys. Little boys were given thrones long after their expiration date. Little boys built the world in their image. Little boys too often learn a language that covers up the root of their role. Women give birth to them. Family is stronger in the feminine for the sake of all. Humans are symbolic. Relativity is calling us to put down our spears. A bowl longs to feed all from its giving shape, a nourishment that raises warriors that never fight to the death. Now is the time to change the operating system. It is within the feminine that you'll find the code.
Bocea, 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 Bocea. The amazing thing about Bocea is that he is just courageous and unafraid to break rules. I mean, you are getting some of the most masterful spoken word artists on the national and international scene that have donated their time to this important cause. I cannot add to the list of awards that all of these poets have won. Bocea is a Tony Award winner for his work in HBO deaf poetry on the Broadway stage. He's an author He's an actor. He's got an upcoming cameo in a Meryl Streep flick coming out. He's just an amazing cat. I am super excited to get Bocea in here and actually talk to him, because Bocea and I have actually shared some time on the road, on tours as well, and he's been a friend of mine. And like I said, for him to be here donating to Say Word is amazing. I hope that you will donate too. Let's check out and see what Bocea's scores are, shall we? Shihan, where we at?
All right, give it up for Bocea. Give it up for Bocea. All right, judges, on the count of 3, you can put your scores in the air. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, okay. From low to high, we have an 8.7. We have a 9.0. We have a 9.7, a 9.8, and a 9.9. Give it up for the poet, not the score. That is a total score of... That's a 28.5. Give it up for Bocea. SEKOU, what you got for us?
I'm here with the man himself,
Hi.
Mr. Thea.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic, dude, because I'm here giving the Say Word, and there's no better place to be right now.
Oh, indeed.
Let me ask you a
Indeed.
question. What do you think about those scores? What do you think about the scores that you got for the Charity Slam?
It's not about the numbers, yo. It's about the impact. Just because I make people uncomfortable, it's all good.
It's all
You know what I mean?
good. I do know what you mean, Mr.
Because I am
Thea.
here to share truth.
Yes.
And you know how it is when you've been a long-timey guy like us. Numbers don't matter.
All about
we
the truth,
feel
baby.
the impact
All
and the
about
manifestation
truth.
over the
Damn
time,
right?
right?
Damn right.
Word.
All day.
Say word.
Right? I say
You know
we
what I'm
say
saying?
word.
I wish people would give more money to that.
I say,
more
listen,
money to expression,
There-
to manifestation,
there are perks.
to empowerment.
There are perks
Yes.
to giving, right? It's not
Yes.
just the hoodies that you can get. It's not just the one-on-one consultation that you can get for poetry. There are perks that you can get, like,
Transforming the world,
thank you,
making it a better place.
word,
Helping us not have to deal with the outcome of harm for neglect.
word up,
Why would we do that?
all of it.
When it only costs us a few dollars to make a change.
Just a few dollars.
Really? Or
Mr. Thea.
1,000 million.
Oh yeah, whatever
Or
you
a
got.
jillion
Whatever you got.
trillion.
If you got a jillion trillion dollars, we could break us off with some of that jillion
Seriously,
trillion.
billionaire, get on
Yeah,
it.
seriously.
Come on.
I mean, this is for the kids.
Really?
This is for the kids.
They're like this tall.
That's right. Listen, Bocea started off saying, don't worry about the words, worry about the energy. As you can see, this man is pure energy. That's the energy that we're trying to give to Say Word. Back to you, Shihan.
All right, thanks a lot, Cool. Give it up for Bo and SEKOU back there doing their thing. All right, so y'all see the energy he brought? So that's important to make sure y'all keep that energy up, all right? So each person who steps up, like I said, make sure you show love. So y'all ready for the next poet coming up to the stage? All right, so the next poet is the founder of Say Word. So please put your hands together for Cat McGill. Y'all give it up for Cat. Got a dress on and some shoes.
Dear fellow white people, I would like to address a few things that have been happening for the last forever. One, if you have not noticed, we are not Jesus nor God, and most likely Jesus is black. Two, privilege has nothing to do with money, so stop telling people how poor you grew up in the hood to justify how down you are. Three, stop using the word hood. 4, having a child of color doesn't magically turn you into an ally or Malcolm X or gives you a reason to run out and get blonde micro braids with beads swinging at the end of them. 5, please stop. The definition of privilege is 1, confidential, not making the participants liable to persecution, or 2, belonging to a class that enjoys special privileges, like driving down the street without being pulled over for absolutely no reason, or walking in America with a wallet in your pocket without it being assumed it's a gun, or twerking on police cars and just being called crazy kids, or talking to you about college instead of trade school, or having a hood raised over your head because you are cold and not be murdered because you wanted warmth, or hearing this story a million times before through the brown bodies, but right now you feel like you're hearing it for the first time because of what I look like. We have raised the flame too high on our tongues. We keep our neighborhoods loaded with plantation on our chins. It's no coincidence that trigger and the N-word sound so much alike. Notice how the word doesn't need to be said in a poem. Stop looking for ways to slide past the bars we cemented to begin with. Or can we not deal with one thing in this world not belonging to us? Can we not understand that no one needs us as a savior, that our God speaks in more than guilt, that searching for terrorists is just a decoy of towers to hide behind, that money, well, money is irrelevant if it isn't sitting between opportunity and justice, that oppression is an open mouth fallen in silence, that privilege is the same as law because our words handcrafted the gavel, that race in America is us sprinting from the starting line, looking back at the shackles and wondering why no one moved when the gun went off. Don't speak to me about the fight when we are so willing to suck a punch and escape route the moment the burning building is being turned into black ashes, and we were the gas leak to begin with. Stop calling an inferno an ember. Let's get uncomfortable. Let's talk about how I attended a school with 90% black students, lived in an all-black neighborhood, raised a daughter of color, and still have to acknowledge that I will not be able to understand the war she will have to face. How difficult it is to see everyone around me persecuted, and I am never at the barrel of this racist firing squad. This privileged shit ain't always easy to swallow. So, let's ask the questions about the shit we don't know. Take our hands the fuck away from people's hair. Teach Miley what a minstrel show looks like, and tell Robin Thicke that Paula Patton won't excuse him. Remove urban as a password for the children we like to lock up, and stand up for the spines that built this country, because we seem to have everything to say about rights for women, sexuality, the environment. Hell, even polar bears get more conversation than race in America. So this must seem odd coming from a woman that looks like me. I just figured that you wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth, since your blinders can only see the white finish line. This genocide has been cleverly disguised as the war on drugs, or gang intervention, or at-risk youth, or military recruitment. We are revitalizing downtown with no concern of how far we push our boundaries to bulldozer over anyone that doesn't fit the billboard. It's funny how the words gentrification and assimilation seem to rhyme, how time doesn't seem to ignore the bodies under our soil, how we adopt brown babies to give us so-called better life but can't keep a bottle of lotion in the house, how dry our skin becomes without anyone noticing the brittle fear held in our pores, how quickly assumptions become slander, become fact, become homicide with a free man verdict. And let me guess, you think we are the ones with clean hands who preach no color lines. Well, guess what, honey? Not recognizing a person's heritage, culture, and ethnicity is just as racist. I wonder, is it the difference that scares us, or how similar we all are with our pumping blood and beating organs with gospel in our throats? Are you the one wailing or praising, preaching or listening, confessing or confound the muted conversation of our ancestors? I guess it's hard to hear someone scream when we are too busy defending ourselves. When we are just the witness from a third-story window watching a robbery without any help in our hands, because it's none of our business, right? We must sleep peacefully knowing we are safe, privileged to walk around without anyone wanting to pull back our skin or be born casualty but labeled as threat. It must be nice in America for us to have our own name. It must be nice to know where we came from, our religion, our traditions, our history to come without a price tag. It must be nice to have made this America and send her cries to voicemail. Do me a favor. Check your messages every once in a while. Sincerely, your fellow white woman refusing to be silent.
This is the woman that created the reason why we're here. Can you see why? This is the woman that founded the organization Say Word. Can you see why? Can you imagine this voice helping to create the world that we want by bringing those issues and those messages into our school system and teaching the fellow leaders that will create a world where that poem will no longer be necessary. That is what Say Word is about. That is the voice that started it. That's the mentality that started it. That, if nothing else, is the reason why we need your donations. Because that world, the world that we can create that eliminates the need for that, is possible with every dollar that you give. That is the power of this art form of spoken word. And I'm excited to see what the judges have to say about Simply Cat's poem. Oppression is an open mouth falling into silence. Don't let that be your problem. Don't let that happen to you. Speak up. Say word. SHIHAN, where we at?
All right, cool. Give it up one more time for cool, y'all. Give it up for SEKOU with the voice. All right, judges, on the count of three, you can put your scores in the air. 1, 2, and 3. All right, we have a 9.0. We have a 9.5. Another 9.5, a 9.8, and a 10. That's a million with the incorrect comp. All right. Cool, what you got for us, man?
All right. I am here with the woman herself, Simply Cat, on the stage. Cat McGill as the director and founder of the organization Say Word. Cat, I'm just going to turn it over to you. Talk to me about why this is so important.
Say Word is important to me, and the whole reason it even started was because I was that 17-year-old that was lost, didn't have much family, didn't have much direction, and poetry gave me a second chance. I was the continuation school, high school dropout, running the streets kid, and when I found poetry, it gave me a foundation. It gave me a solid ground to stand on. And so when I found myself in a place to give that to others, I could not. It's just a part of purpose at that point and divine intervention that God kind of pat you on the shoulder and be like,
that's right.
So it's your turn.
That's right.
Show set.
That's right.
Step
exactly.
up. So
what you got to say.
That's why. And I watch every single day in the classroom just these transformative occurrences within our students that when we get them, they're so like, I don't have nothing for poetry. This ain't gonna do nothing for my life. Why are you even here? Miss Cat need to sit down, all the things. And within 12 weeks, you watch those same kids, right? Ciphering at a table, being transformative, and like also talking to each other. Like we have so many kids that end up standing up in the middle of class and going, this happened to me. Right? And I'm saying that not so much to, just bear my trauma, but I'm saying that because I'm owning it now. I'm healing it from it now.
That's right.
And I'm continuing on with my life and it won't control me anymore.
And results. I mean, it's working, right?
Yeah, it's definitely working. I mean, our stats say the most, right? We have, 90% of our students are increasing an entire letter grade in English composition, which is nuts, right?
For poetry.
For poetry, right? Yeah, because, and then we have 85% of our poets that come out of the slam team all going to higher education. We're talking Brown, we're talking UC Santa Barbara, we're talking Emerson, we're talking AMDA, which is right here in LA, across the spectrum of kids that didn't necessarily know where they were going to go.
That's right.
And now they're beasting on the world and being leaders and stepping up for those who are marginalized. And we're so big on social activism. Poetry is the tool. Social activism is the message.
It's the message, Yeah, and so they're finding their voice, they're finding their excellence, they're finding their leadership, they're finding their path, they're finding a route to success, and Say Word is giving them the voice to be able to do that. I congratulate you. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of
for putting
you.
this organization together and for asking me to be a part of it, and I'm excited to see what the judges have to say about your score, about your poem, the scores. And
we don't care about the scores. We don't really care about the scores. They can say what they want.
I'm
we
just
raising
using
babies
that.
over
That's
here.
just my poetic device
saying?
to go back to SHIHAN. That's all it is. SHIHAN, where are we at?
All right, give it up one more time for Cat and for SEKOU. And we want to get what Cat's total score was. We have a 28.8. Give it up for Pia, y'all. Give it up for Pia with the score. All right, so y'all watching at home as well as here, you want to hashtag, if you're following on Twitter, hashtag All-Star Charity Slam. Also, hashtag TubeStart. If you want to donate, you go to TubeStart, follow the links. They'll be floating around my face somewhere around here on the screen. Click on it. Donate to the cause. It's a wonderful thing. Say word, DPL. And y'all ready for the next poet? Final poet of the first round. Final poet of the first round. Put your hands together for NQ. Y'all give it up, NQ.
Hi, I'm a corporation, and I'm a person. So we can have a meeting, but we can't meet up in person. Because I don't have a body. I'm more of an idea. My living room's a lobby. My kitchen is a cafeteria. I'm a person, though. I promise you I am. So we can make a deal, but you can't shake my hand. Because I'm not a man. I just have the rights of one. Doesn't matter what I do as long as I can get it done. See, I don't have a soul, so I don't have to die, which means I never have to ask myself the question why. The sky's the limit while the smog is filling up the skies. I'd probably notice, but I never grew a pair of eyes. See, I'm a corporation, but I'm a person too. And to the Supreme Court, I'm equally as real as you. So I can buy elections and lobby for my cause. It's just a contribution. I'm not breaking any laws. And even if I did, there's no one here for them to blame. I have a logo and a brand. I don't have a name. See, I'm a person, but a person has to feel the pain so they can find me, and it's fine. I don't feel ashamed. I just fire someone and then claim I never knew, hand out a severance package, then go hire someone new. I've heard that empathy can make a normal person pause. But I'm a corporation, so I'm greedy by the law, which makes it easy to ignore the misery I've caused, cause my responsibility is to a higher cause. The market is my God. I prey, but on the weak. I have the loudest voice around, and yet I never speak. See, I'm a corporation, but I'm a person too. And there are people in this person that are just like you. Sometimes they're sitting in an office with a gorgeous view or in a basement maze of never-ending cubicles. I own a corporate jet, so my home is where I land. How can I stand for anything? I don't have legs to stand. I send my jobs overseas to different foreign lands. I hide my offshore accounts in different foreign lands. See, I'm a corporation and a proud American, yet I pay less in taxes than our average citizen. I hang with Exxon, Monsanto, and Goldman Sachs. We sit around and laugh while we count our countless stacks. We make up super PACs. I swear we rule the world, and yet we'll never have to raise a little boy or girl. We are the corporations. We are the people, too. And yet the people running us have us running you.
That was NQ giving a piece about corporation as personhood. NQ just continues to add to the list of the diverse resumes of these spoken word poets and slam champions. He is a national slam champion. He is an HBO Deaf poet. He's, been on Verses and Flow, but even more than that, in addition to the PhDs and the authors and the movie stars that we have, NQ is also a multi-platinum songwriter. And it's my brother. I'm super excited to be here. All of these poets here are my family. I've been on the same slam teams as the NQ. NQ and I share a lot of the same business stages. We're constantly bumping into each other as we go on the speaking circuit. I'm proud of the accomplishments that all of these poets that started right here in these local poetry venues like the Poetry Lounge and are now having these global and these international, global, national careers. I'm so proud to be among them. I'm so proud to watch them perform on this stage, and we're also proud to be here contributing work for Say Word, incredibly important organization. So I'm sure they got the scores tallied now. It's not about the tallying of the scores, it's about the tallying of what you are going to donate to Tube Start, so make sure that you start donating while we hear what the scores are. SHIHAN.
Give it up for SEKOU one more time, y'all. Give it up for SEKOU and give it up for NQ. That was good. All right, judges. On the count of three, put your scores in the air. 1, 2, and 3. Judges up. Uh-oh. We have a 9.5. We have a 9.6. We have a 9.7. We have a 9.8. And we have an 11. Give it up for the poet and not the score. That total score is this is my hand to get the score. I'm grabbing the score from the air. I lost my powers. All right. But we got a surprise for y'all while that's going on. So just recently, LA crowned the Youth Poet Laureate. 2015 Youth Poet Laureate of Los Angeles. So what we'd like to do is welcome to the stage now the 2015 Youth Poet Laureate of Los Angeles. Give it up for Julia Horowitz, y'all. Give it up for Julia!
And thank you guys for tuning in today and contributing to Say Word. I've been a part of Say Word for 2 years, and it's my second year on their slam team, and we really appreciate it. So I'm going to do a poem. Us girls were taught, smile. We're taught this is a window display. We're taught we are silverfish silkworms slipping around in a bell jar. In an overturned fishbowl, there is only enough oxygen for some of us. We're taught soft skin. But Elmer's glue kind of soft, that sticky kind of soft, that dripping kind of soft, dripping into whatever container is thrust under us, drying out transparent for everyone to see. Attention. This is not a window display, just a window. Attention. Observe the tension in our fingers when we are not constantly holding things together, when we're not constantly filling things up, filling up holes, cracks, gashes. Attention. Step right on those cracks. Attention, don't break. You won't break your mother's back because your mother's back, your mother's backs, all of our backs have already been breaking, bending backwards for way too long. Attention, unfurl. Vertebrae stacking on top of each other, skyscraper foundations, you're climbing to the sun. Attention, unfurl your fingers. Attention, unfurl your hair. Watch how you are a monument against the wind. Watch how the wind wishes it had your sway. Watch how you are a windbreaker, a wind chime winning barefoot races against yourself, grass sighing at the brush of your feet, dawn breaking at the nape of your neck, breaking. If we're gonna break, let's break like that. Let's break wide open in the middle of intersections on football game kiss cams. Let's break out of these chrysalises. Monarch wing flames erupting from our stomachs, breaking news, breaking bell jars. The fishbowl has been shattered on the floor. It's cracked at cracks in the sidewalk. Let's stop. Press seeds between the concrete, press wishes that tower into each other's palms. Remember that my light doesn't expose an absence of yours, that your light doesn't expose an absence of mine, that all of this light is not about to go out against the wind because we are monuments against the wind every summer. Female monarch butterflies fly thousands of miles against the wind. Attention. This is not a window display. This is a wide open window. Let's give them something too brilliant to pin down.
Now give it up one more time for the 2015 Youth Poet Laureate of Los Angeles, Julia Horowitz. All right, so before she came up, we had the score for NQ. NQ had a 29.1. Give it up for NQ one more time. Give it up for NQ with a 29.1. All right, so that concludes the first round. And we are we have three people moving on to the second round. But before we go and do that, I want to send it off to SEKOU. SEKOU, what you got?
I'm here with the man himself, NQ.
What's up? How are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful.
I'm good. I'm fantastic, dude. We've been on the scene for a minute.
Yes, we
right?
have. Yes.
Like, DPL was like our home poetry venue, right? before it's how we started out, right?
Yeah.
And we have built a community. We've
Yes.
been a part of building community.
I'm sorry, I'm not listening. I gotta
Come,
stop.
come on,
I gotta
dude. I was
stop.
gonna.
I gotta stop.
I was gonna
wanna
roll
connect
with
with
it.
you.
I was
and-
gonna roll with
No,
it.
we did. It was an improv thing. It didn't work. I want to connect
I was
with you.
gonna totally roll
Okay,
with it.
I'm with you.
You know, listen, we rock stuffed animals here. We have fun. That's how we get down.
Boom.
But now we're gonna get all serious, like poets do, right? So, what do you think about Say Word as an organization?
I'm sorry. I think Say Word is an incredible organization.
Yeah.
I feel honored to be here. And I think literally people telling their story creates more empathy in the world, gives people an outlet to express the things that they have no other way to get out of their system. And the fact that Kat is doing this with Say Word and that she helps 500 kids is just remarkable. And I'm really proud of her. And I'm happy to be involved in any way I can.
And you are traveling the world, right? You're bringing your voice as a poet to all kinds of new and incredible audiences that have never heard of spoken word. What's the reaction that you typically get when people hear a poet's coming to the stage?
Well, I think people have a certain perception of what poetry is. And as you've seen from the poets that have performed earlier, like, we're above and beyond that. It's not like a side art form. It's an equally as important and hopefully monetizable and exposable art form as anything else that's out there. And as soon as people realize what the potential is, I think it's going to break into popular culture in a really big way.
You and I share a very similar push spoken word into mainstream media to create a commercially viable art, industry for this art form. I know that we're driven by the desire to have poets have new things that they can be when they grow up, right? Young poets should be able to sit back and say, I don't want to have to just do my poetry as a hobby. I want to be able to do what NQ's doing, what Javon's doing, what Kat's doing, right? So that to me is the importance of what Kat's doing and what Say Word's doing in the curriculum, is that it starts at the time that students are deciding what their course will be in life, and they get exposure to people like NQ, to people like Bocea, to people that are bringing poetry into songwriting, into theater, into therapy, all sorts of organizations, all sorts of paths and stages. That's the beauty of what's being created at the inception of where Say Word is in the classroom.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And to piggyback that, like, I think if people know that they can do poetry for a living, and they can get out all of these things that have maybe been locked up and they haven't had a chance to express them in this way, I think they have a different sense of ownership over it, over their own stories and their own pain, number one. And then I think they'll have an opportunity to share that with the world, which creates more empathy, which is what the world needs more of right now.
That's right. The models are happening here. One of my clients, 100 Black Men, has the motto, if they see it, they can be it. And you're seeing it here. You're seeing the possibilities for what spoken word can be, and you're seeing the organization that's helping paint those possibilities for youth in Los Angeles for right now, hopefully around the nation. That depends on you. We need your funds. We need your support. Please make sure that you support and donate.
Please donate. It really does go a long way. And we appreciate anything you can give.
Absolutely. All right, let's see what's going on in this charity slam. SHIHAN, where we at?
Okay, all right, give it up for SEKOU one more time. NQ, give it up for NQ. All right, so that was the last of the poets in that first round. Also, Julia did her thing, but there are 3 finalists moving on to the second round. Those finalists are NQ. Give it up, NQ. Give it up for Kat. And give it up for Thea MONYEE, y'all. So give it up. Right back at you, Coop.
All right. My job here in the studio is just getting more and more exciting as more and more guests come. We have finished the first round. We've had all these national champions and actors and multi-platinum songwriters and PhDs. And now, round 2 brings the next generation of spoken word poets that are literally about to take the world by storm, starting with none other than Miss King herself.
Hey.
What's up?
Nothing much. I'm happy to be around so many people that I love, an organization that I love, and I'm just super stoked right now.
We are super stoked to be around you.
Thank you.
Because you are what this is about.
Thank you.
Tell me about your experience with Say Word.
I met Kat at the Poetry Lounge. And so the Poetry Lounge is my home venue, and Kat found me, and we just immediately clicked. And so she became a mentor of mine. And so then she was telling me what she was doing with Say Word. And I always have been very about community involvement and volunteering, because I feel youth are our next generation, so we have to do our best job possible to raise them. And so she told me about it, and I started getting involved in the program. I assisted in teaching some classes at Fairfax, and just whatever event she had, I was like, let me try to help, and things like that. Yeah. And it's just been amazing to see kids who are a little bit younger than me grow up and grow from the program, such as Julia. I met Julia like her first time performing at DPL before she made the slam team, and now she's like youth poet laureate, and she's going to college, she's going to Brown. I feel like such a mom, but I'm 21, so it's it's beautiful. It's just been amazing to just watch how she's so maternal and loving, but she's also raising some world changers and some leaders and some very articulate young people.
What's been the power to you of having spoken word inside of the classroom?
Kids, for me personally, I didn't like poetry growing up. I hated it. So seeing kids,
lots of you out there think you don't like poetry too. Hopefully we're changing your mind. Right?
And so when I saw how it was being presented in the classroom to where kids were like, wait, this is more than just a class assignment. This is something I can do, and I can find a release in, and also realize I can change the world with just my voice alone.
That's right.
And seeing that in the classroom and seeing it in kids who maybe don't have that access on a day-to-day basis. Like I grew up in a private school. I was very privileged, and I'm very thankful for that. So to see it in places where maybe they wouldn't get it on a regular basis, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
and to see those kids flourish afterwards, after the program.
That's great. Well, we appreciate your service in the classroom for Say Word, as well as on the stage for the Charity Slam.
Thank you.
And hopefully you all have been inspired to donate and to support the Tube Start campaign. Make sure you go to Tube Start. I'm sure the thing is floating around here, my head or SHIHAN's head. Make sure you click on that link. Make sure you donate so that King can inspire so many more students in the classroom and on stage.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Thank you
We
so
appreciate
much.
you. Let's see what SHIHAN's doing over in the studio.
All right, y'all, give it up for King. Give it up for King. I want to Say Word alum. And also SEKOU one more time. Give it up for SEKOU. He's been doing his thing back there with the voice. And so everybody enjoying themselves so far? Give it up for everybody who came up on stage so far and did their thing. Also give it up for Say Word and the Poetry Lounge. All right. So looking around, seeing everybody, one of these wonderful, lovely people here today. I see someone else I know who I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm going to have him come up here and tell me why he's here. So give it up. Right now for Mike and Molly, y'all. Give it up for down there, y'all. Give it up.
Good. Yeah, I'm here because I want to support the poets, support poetry. Poetry's changed my life. When I was in New York, at the New Eurekan, and just listening to those poets slam, it's just, I felt like I could slay giants, you know what I mean? Just listening to their words and wanting to emulate them. And, going back into my own dungeon and writing and trying to create what they created. And so they not only inspire other poets, other artists, but they inspire people outside that and really bring about awareness and change. That's it. So that's why I'm here. I'm just here to support that.
Thank you very much. Well, thanks for supporting. I hope you continue to support. Y'all watching, need the support as well. All-Star Charity Slam hashtag. And support. Donate. Enjoy the rest. We're going to bring you out to do a poem after. And you didn't even know that was happening. Just because making people uncomfortable is what we do best. We showcase uncomfortability here. All right. So, y'all ready to go into the second round? Yeah. All right. You didn't sound like it. Are y'all ready for the second round? Yeah. All right. You okay? I'm good. Would you like some water? No, I'm good. You're good. Would you like some water? No. All right. So, coming up right now, first in the second round, please put your hands together for Thea MONYEE. Y'all give it up for Thea MONYEE.
Ishmael speaks of days long forgotten, before declarations of independence or tear-stained cotton, before concentration camps and the broken backs of railroad workers, before the bubonic plague and AIDS first surfaced, before we became an amnesiac society, stuck in our ways and filled with anxiety. See, we have forgotten, labeled it all prehistory. Thousands of years of living outlined only in chapter 3, as opposed to being at least 3 chapters. We live in the after. Never stop to question the before, but I assure you, such a time existed. There was such a day when we lived free of this myth that there is one right way and people were not afraid to live differently. Where it was not how it was done, but the fact that it worked that mattered. Somewhere between the Fertile Crescent and the Industrial Revolution, this belief was shattered and we were left with splinters which left untreated has infected our point of view. Nature was once our brother, now it is something that we abuse, something that we assume was placed on earth solely for our use. From the trees to the land to the water to the food, it was only a matter of time before people became products too. See, we watched this happen to plants, animals, and insects, smug from a distance, not realizing we would be next, but the earth was here before the first man took his first step, was created to maintain balance and how to self-correct, remind us of our place here and how we all intersect. If beef is what I eat, then the cow and I connect, and that deserves respect. It is cause and effect and understanding that everything gives and takes. And that is how it must be for the earth to rotate. Our tomorrows are dwindling beneath the weight of our waste because we're stealing the food off of our brother's plates, and not out of necessity, but so he can't have a taste. Because the goal is to control and to own the right way, but we've yet to find a way to prevent a hurricane or stabilize LA when this earth begins to quake. Therefore, our fatal mistake has been to hoard and recreate that which nature did not intend. We've began the process of processing foods. Now we intake compounds that don't break down when we chew, get stuck to our hearts like gum to a shoe. Now you've become a patient and medication is through the roof. Dependency sets in because your cure is stored away in a test tube next to your food. And perhaps we could eat better. But that cost is too high for those with low cash flows to afford every night, especially with such limited options. I've yet to see a Trader Joe's in Compton or a farmer's market in Nickerson Garden, so pardon me. I have a tendency to care deeply the way we all used to. I have a tendency to give a damn, though encouraged not to, and I understand this can be an inconvenient truth. It can be hard to see your part in how you contribute to this cycle of deficit that we now represent, so let me preface it by saying this was not the intent, but here is where we are. It's like being in a car that is heading south when your destination is north. You can choose to turn around, or you can choose to stay the course. But only one of those decisions will bring you to where you want to be. So here is the question we have to ask as human beings. Are we going to continue to destroy, or will we start living consciously? Thank you.
That is the first poet in round 2 of the charity slam. And just so you know what happens, typically slams have elimination rounds, right? So however many poets that are in the first round, they take a certain number of poets for the second round based off of the highest scores. And Thea was one of the few poets that made the cut for the second round of the charity slam. But I am in here with Joanna, who is the freshly crowned LA Youth Poet Laureate. LA Youth Poet Laureate. That is awesome that you got crowned with that title. That's fantastic.
Very excited.
And you're doing big things because you did a TED Talk recently, right?
Mm-hmm. Earlier this year.
That's amazing. I mean, TED as a poet, LA Youth Poet Laureate as a spoken word slam artist, and where are you going to be next year?
Brown University.
Brown University. Brown University as a poet, and I believe that your activism was a big part of what got you into Brown, right? Talk about that.
Absolutely, and Say Word was a huge part of that. I think I cared about a lot of issues before I got involved with poetry, but when I met Kat and when I found Say Word, it was the first time where I felt like, my voice mattered and that my voice could do something, and then the more I started doing poetry, the more I realized the impact it could have. So I've done a lot of activism in terms of like women's rights and LGBT rights, and I'm working with an organization called the Point Foundation, Austin, which I actually just got a scholarship from for
Nice.
college, which is so cool.
Nice.
Slam was a
Congratulations.
huge part of getting that, and I hope to kind of take that organization's values, Say Word's values, and all of that with me to Rhode Island.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, you got some fantastic perks from being a part of Say Word.
Yes.
Not every one of you will be able to go to Brown based off of Say Word, but there are some amazing perks out there for your donations, from chapbooks to Poetry Lounge, Dante's Poetry Lounge book. We got men's and women's shirts, right? We got hoodies. If you could have any perk besides going to Brown that you get from Say Word, what would it be?
You know, the $1,000 poet performance sounds good, but for $15, you can get the Say Word Youth Team Chapbook, which has all of my team's poems in it. It's pretty cool.
That's got to be inspirational.
Yes. You can take a little piece of all of our hearts home with you. We're super proud of everything in there.
Listen, you give a little, you get a little. That's how we do, all right? This is living embodiment of what happens with your donations. And on top of all of this, you get a chapbook. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. SHIHAN, that's a pretty dope perk, right? Let them know. Thank you.
Right, y'all. Y'all heard those perks. So go donate. See the floating links. Click on the link. Donate. Support Say Word, the Poetry Lounge, and let's move this generation forward and let them share their story, which is a very important story to be shared. So we've been having a good time. Judges doing good. Are y'all writing stuff on those scorecards? A little bit. Oh yeah? What's on the scorecard? Oh, okay. Put your scores in there. Let's see these scores. Uh-oh. Oh, snap. All right, from low to high, we have a 9.0. We have a 9.4. We have a 9.8. We have a 9.8. And we have a One Direction. Hello. 1D, I see it. All right, and we have a 10, So give it up for the poet one more time. Give it up for Thea. And that total score is? 29. That is a 29. I do my hands like this because it means more. All right, next poet coming up to the stage. Put your hands together for NQ. Y'all give it up for NQ.
I used to save my clothes for special occasions that never came. There in the closet they would hang, lonely in the dark, waiting for me to change. But I was comfortable wearing my same things, my same shirts and my same jeans. My newer stuff was for the right time or right scene. I wouldn't waste it on a normal day of living. It was more for an event, or a premiere, or the house party of the year, where everyone was there so they'd see me in my fresh gear, rocking just the right look so I could meet the right girl and get her back to my clothes on my floor. But the tags were still on the collars. A couple seasons went by, my shit was out of style. So now I'm back in the aisle buying more stuff. I take it back to my closet and hang it all up. I wonder what they do when I'm not around. What if they come alive, climb down, make believe they're me, and run around acting like they own the town, mixing outfits and floating like ghosts off of the ground? I mean, they probably want to be used. If they could choose, your shoes would try to break out of the box too. Kiss the concrete and learn to walk too. After all, that's what shoes are made to do, and even shoes want to feel purposeful. What if chairs want to hold up your weight? What if tables like when we gather around them to celebrate? What if beds want to carry our dreams? And I'm taking them for granted because they're not living things. Then again, I've taken many living things for granted too. I could pass you on the street and I would barely notice you, because if I noticed you, I'd see how beautiful you truly are. And yet the closer that we get, the more I see the distance from afar. Late night, lying in the grass, counting shooting stars. One day, we'll all buy our vacation homes on Mars with Nike gravity boots and Tom Ford spacesuits that come in camouflage. But as for now, we wander overpriced department stores. What are we looking for inside the mall? Last week, I found a black hole beneath a pile of clothes at Ross. I fell in and got lost. Woke up 4 hours later in a discount suit from Boss. I keep it hanging on the hanger, hanging out with moss. Just another mediocre metaphor collecting moss. And the funny shit is, I really like to floss. So wearing what I bought should be priceless despite the cost. I want to walk in every room and drop jaws, so fly that I could fit a Mack truck inside the pregnant pause. Fresh dip down to my palm tree drawers, so whenever I arrive or say goodbye, I get applause. What, I'm the man, huh? I'm the man, huh? I should probably wear my shit while I can, huh? Tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. We're living in a dream even when we're waking up. Besides, it's not about you, it's about your stuff. So right now should always be the special occasion enough.
All right, that was poet number 2 in round number 2. NQ made the cut. I'm excited to see who's coming next, but right now I'm even more excited to see who is in front of me. I have Miss Rosalind Silva.
Hello.
She is just killing it on the scene now. Coming up, she's been slamming now for 2 years,
Yes.
right? Poet ambassador, which does, you know, person does a library tour in support of the Youth Poet Laureate.
Mm-hmm.
Who also, you saw the Youth Poet Laureate here. Why am I struggling with that word? Youth Poet Laureate. You need to make sure I say it like 10 times fast so I can perform it in a slam. You're right? Yeah. Youth Poet Laureate, Youth Poet Laureate, Youth Poet Laureate. What? You know, like when we end a poem, we'll just say Laureate, Laureate, Laureate.
10.
What? 10, right? I killed that one.
Killed it.
And you have been with Say Word now for what, like 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
And primarily on the slam side of things. So what do you feel is the importance and the benefit of the slam community?
The slam community benefits youth in the way, or I mean like the youth team itself has benefited the youth in that it gives us a chance to not only write, but it gives us a chance to speak. Like it's not, it takes a lot of bravery and courage for these kids like me just to like come up and get behind a microphone and give our whole truth to the world and feel like it impacts them.
Yeah.
So I would say that the slam community for the youth definitely gives them empowerment, gives them encouragement, like their voices matter and that they can make a difference in the world.
It takes a lot to get up there and bear your truth,
Yes.
right? And poets are honest. You know what I mean? Like there's no songwriter and you're singing someone else's story. You're not you're not dealing with a ghostwriter. Like you get up there and you bare your soul. I always say if you want to know what's going on with your friend that's a poet, just go to the open mic. Because they will tell you, I'm mad at my mama right now, I just broke up with my girl right now, I'm dealing with an issue. Like you will know their truth. And to train people to be able to have to embrace the power of their voice and be unafraid, fearless, to get up there and share the truth that you're seeing in the slam. I mean, you've heard a lot of personal stuff from people, right? And the fact that the slam is training these young voices to do that is amazing. So I commend you, and I commend you for being brave enough to get up there and do that, and for serving the community and the work that you're doing. You were getting ready to go to Brave New Voices and compete nationally.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
So listen, the money that you guys donate and what how you support this organization, it not only goes towards that curriculum, it not only goes towards the after-school programs that Say Word is doing, it not only goes towards the in-school programs, the residency programs, it goes towards the slam team. It goes towards them getting a chance to sort of learn teamwork and collaboration and practice and resilience and being unafraid to share your work and being unafraid to receive the criticism of somebody saying 6.0.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's hard.
Having your work judged. This is our art, right?
Definitely.
But the skills that teaches you, I promise you, they will work for you in real life, right? Because then you're able to receive that criticism and continue to grow from it.
Yep, and get better every step of the way.
And strive towards excellence.
Definitely.
I appreciate you, Rosalind.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely, and we appreciate you.
We do.
Tube Start, holla at us. Make sure that you donate. Make sure that you keep enjoying. I think we have one more poet in the slam, and then we got a couple of special treats for you. So make sure you stay tuned in to the charity slam. SHIHAN, what's the scores look like? Where we at?
All right, cool. Give it up one more time for Rosalind, y'all. Give it up for Rosalind. Before Rosalind started talking, before SEKOU got to it, we had NQ get up here. We like to get NQ scores. So judges, on the count of 3, put your scores in the air. 1, 2, and 3. All right. From low to high, we have a 9.0. All right. A 9.6, a 9.7, another 9.7, and an 11. Give it up, NQ. Not the score. And your final poet of the second round, put your hands together. Well, I do like this. For Simply Cat. Y'all give it up for Simply Cat.
I was told I could be anything. So my next job application under occupational history, it will read the color purple. And under duties, it'll say I've been holding down the 5th line of the rainbow. Under supervisor, contact the sky because she got a retirement plan mapped out for me in the stars. Contract signed in fairy dust with an underlying clause that reads, under no circumstance will I ever let you fall too far. So sign me up for position of dreamer. Must I have a degree in astronomy to wish on the stars? I will make a career out of the impossible. Make $1 million out of one life changed and live lavishly by dusting off Skid Row and stomp in celebration on top of every cubicle made to box us in. Because you see, no one as a child imagines just being an answering service to the world, typing 40 words per minute while staring at a clock on the wall, tick-tock away your life's minutes while you rather be anywhere else. You see, I rather be skipping across Orion's belt while debating with the sun of who shines brighter. Fuck hiring me as a character. Why don't you hire me for my character? Go ahead and try to challenge me with all of your standards, but make sure to take the board out of your meeting because I'd rather have a drink as stiff. Give me the test of jumping off a cliff and learning how to fly. Fire me when I die trying to be anything other than what I am, anything other than what I was born to be, anything other than what I create while I am still here. I am still here, present and willing to make the best out of what this world has to offer. So offer me more than just a paycheck. Give me life. Promote me to the moon so I may light up the night, and send me on a flight to Saturn so I may dance on her rings and spin me a new world. Because you see, position of dreamer carries the duties of molding our little girls into constellations that can balance galaxies on their forehead and pour Milky Ways at play tea parties that tend to last for decades. But don't worry, because your overtime will be paid by imaginary friends telling you stories that you can only hear when you listen to the child at heart. Show me an unemployment line and I'll show you 100 people who weren't allowed to be a child from the start, 50 who were told not to dream, 30 who tried to fit inside a box, 20 who ended up getting lost, 10 who were told not to believe, and one working the hell out of the system to get where she needs to be. Because sometimes dreaming can be obsessive in life. Life can act as a depressive. That's why workaholic dreamers lock themselves away in offices not to be distracted by the world. I wish that my job was to type memos letting every single person I know that there is always somewhere better than where you are at. I would fax a picture of 1,000 open arms to let you know that when these machines don't love you, people still do. I would help you to sue your boss for not letting you off in time to cook dinner for your children because his bullshit 9 to 5 don't fit into the parent handbook of spending time with your kids. Not only for you to spend time with them, but for them to remind us of how to imagine. I imagine that when I apply for the position of dreamer, I'll be much too qualified to sit behind a desk. You can give me an imaginary job as long as it has purpose. So my next job application under occupation applying for, it will still read purple because that's what I do best.
All right, I'm back with the man himself, Dante Bosco.
Wow, what a night, man. Look at this collection of poets tonight. It's just amazing to watch everybody rock the mic.
This has been crazy, and they're killing it too.
Killing it.
Murking it over there.
You know, our generation, it's good to see. It's not very often that we all get under the same roof on the same mic. And not seeing you and Shihan rip a poem is kind of a little bit like, come on, man.
I do. I'm just glad to be here, man. I'm with my folks. I'm with my family. We go back. You know, this, if you're in LA in particular, like you have an amazing spoken word scene. People don't know that. There's an incredible scene in New York, incredible scene in New Orleans, in Florida, in
Chicago.
the Bay, like Chicago. Like there's these amazing scenes. And I know you get the same reaction that
Definitely.
I do. When people come to like the poetry lounge, they're like, where has this been? Is this new?
Right. They think we're all on some LA stuff.
Right. They're
And
like,
we
this
are
is
on some LA
amazing.
stuff.
That's right.
That's what
right.
I'm saying.
Real talk.
Real talk.
But that exists wherever you are. Seek out the local spoken word scene in your community. Go support these poets. Let them know that their work is being appreciated. You know what I'm saying?
And support the next generation.
That's right.
And that's what we're here tonight for Say Word. And the great thing tonight, you go to TubeStart. You can click on all the links that you see at the bottom of the page. And the great thing about TubeStart is it's a very new way of crowdfunding or fundraising, if you would. You can donate any amount of money you'd like, but also you get perks if you
That's right.
donate certain amounts.
That's
so
right.
what do we
Yeah,
got?
let's talk about some of these perks, right? So if you donate $15, right, you get the Say Word Youth Team chat book. Now the chat book is their poems. So all the youth poets that you're seeing performing here and the poets that aren't here, you get a book with their actual words in it. Like that's the essence of what this is about right there.
Definitely.
What's the next perk we got here?
$20, you can get a copy of my book, Dante's Poetry Lounge, which is all about the poetry stuff that I wrote at the beginning of this whole thing, this DPL world, the Poetry Lounge world.
That's right. Also with $20, you get a shout out from the slam poets in a wrap-up video. So we're gonna put together a wrap-up video and you get your own personal shout out. You know that's kind of dope.
Definitely.
Like, what's up, Bob? Thanks a lot, Aisha.
$20.
Steve. Right?
Yes.
That's dope.
$49, men and women. You can get a free T-shirt of the Charity Slam.
Yeah. And $75, you get actually the Charity Slam hoodie, right? So that's dope because you actually, if you're in a colder climate, you rock the hoodie and they got Charity Slam on it and you represent.
And then now at $500, for all the poets out there and the literary people out there that are watching that understand the great poets on the mic tonight, for $500 you can get a one-on-one poetry consultation. So what exactly does that mean, poetry consultation?
So
Sekou?
that means
this
like,
is what you do this kind of for. This
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
do.
listen, I have a speaker training business that I created based off of the performance art forms called Stage Might, and I literally meet with people and just say, here's how you can use these techniques, learning from poets, learning from singers and improv artists and storytellers to become a more dynamic communicator. So what we're offering you for $500, which is way cheaper than you get it for most speaker training, way cheaper than you get it for folks like that offer services like mine, you get a one-on-one consultation with the caliber of poets that you're seeing here to meet with them. If you're local to Los Angeles, meet in person. If you're not local, meet online, virtually. I do a lot of my speaker trainings virtually, and it's very effective. 3 people will get this. 3 people who support with $500 will get a one-on-one consultation. And the big dog, though.
And the big dog, which is also a great deal. For
Yeah.
people that bid $1,000, you can bid on this, and one lucky person will be able to get one of these poets tonight.
That's right.
To speak at their event, whether it be a corporate event, whether it be a party, a wedding, something
Your
like this.
bar mitzvah, your sweet 16.
What happens is these poets, what you gotta understand, the poets on stage tonight that you've seen have been around not a year, 2 years, decades.
Yeah.
10
and
years.
the stages that these poets touch are major
Traveled
businesses.
all around the country, all around the world.
All around the world. That's
and
right.
I know it's thousands of dollars to get any of these poets
Oh, yeah.
to show up at your event.
Oh, yeah.
So
But you can get one
for
$1,000 if that's your bid.
That's your bid. It's going
But
to charity.
it's going to charity, and the bids will continue to rise. So put your bid in now. I mean, imagine Dante Bosco or Simply Cat,
Or
rocking
SEKOU
your
the
living
Misfit.
room, right? Rocking your living room. Imagine how
That's
bossed
pretty
you would be for that, right? That's dope.
And the beautiful thing about TubeStart is we are live tonight, live stream, and we thank everybody for watching and spread the word. But the great thing about TubeStart is we're continuing to raise money for the next 30 days. So throughout the month of July, you can watch the video and you can, again, get all of these perks, watch the film, share the link.
Share it.
And you will also get perks for just giving to charity.
That's right. Please share it. And we're going to go back to SHIHAN in the studio now and see what's coming next.
All right, y'all, give it up for Dante and SEKOU one more time. Give it up to Dante. Before we left off, we had to announce NQ's score, which was a 29.0 even, 29 even. So give it up for NQ. Give it up for NQ. And Simply Cat had a total score. Let's see these scores, judges. On the count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Put your scores up. All right, we have a 9.2. We have a 9.8. We have another 9.8. We have a 10. And we have a 10. I like doing this. All right. That is a total score of 29.6. Did that on my own. You heard something? He wasn't telling me. Give it up for 29.6 for Cat, y'all. Give it up for Cat. And coming up to the stage now, please put your hands together for Say Word.
America will never forget September 11th, 2001.
When two 767s flew headfirst into fellow Americans, towers fell, hope stayed intact.
Within 1 week, lines to donate blood to the victims wrapped around buildings.
George Bush hid behind a microphone and declared a war on terror.
In 2014, more black men were killed by police officers than black men killed in 9/11. America easily forgetting the names of every brown body murdered.
Within 1 week,
Of bullets flying head-on into Mike Brown, blood flowed through the streets of Ferguson. Armed policemen hid behind tear gas and declared a war on their victims. America forgetting the towers of black bodies stacking. Let us remind you, racism exists. We do not forget.
When America incarcerates more people than the countries they deem their enemies.
When America is so quick to jump on invaders but never our own. Racism constantly seeping through our defense lines. Never acknowledging the shots we are taking at each other.
saying we are going to war, peace, and unity.
How can you protect something you've never seen? The bloodiest battles in this country are fought over black bodies and crude oil, but only one of those is treated like it has any value.
At Ground Zero, we weep for slaughtered civilians
Who couldn't breathe, lifted hands up in prayer, but then returned home to strangle our own, trying to erase the names.
Miriam
John
Carey,
Carter,
Tisha Anderson, Philip White,
Walter Scott,
Freddie Gray,
Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Tamir Rice. Racism is alive and towering. Terrorism now carries a badge. The streets are quickly burning to the ground, but not as quickly as we forget.
All right, that is why we're here. That is what your money goes to. Those 4 voices are getting ready to go to Brave New Voices, B&V, the National Youth Poetry Slam Championship, which I believe is taking place in Oakland?
Atlanta.
In Atlanta this year. They head off in a couple weeks to go compete against hundreds of youth poets from around the country for the title National Youth Poetry Slam Champion, Brave New Voice Champion, and that's the kind of work that they're going to be bringing. That's a group poem by the Say Word B&V Slam team, and this is their coach and founder and the creator of this, the possibilities for them.
Yeah.
Tell me about B&V.
Brave New Voices is actually an international competition.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I localize it?
Yeah,
My bad.
you did. You
My
made
bad.
it smaller than what it is.
We're talking the globe, not just
the whole
nation,
world,
the globe.
Craig.
That's
the
right.
whole world.
world.
So yeah, Brave New Voices is an international competition. This year they're actually bringing a team from Ireland, which is kind of cool. South Africa has been before. Bahamas have been before. So it's a really great space for like kids around the world that all rock poems to come together and go, oh my God, you're just like me. Oh, you rock poems too. Oh, we could change the world.
That's right.
And it's super amazing. And so every dollar donated tonight will go not only to programming, but to purchase flights, to purchase room and board,
It's real
to make
stuff.
sure they're fed.
That's right.
Poets need to eat.
Poets gotta eat.
Poets gotta eat.
And they like more than just like bread and water too.
They do.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? We like
some
fruit and
protein.
veggies every once in a while.
Protein.
A little bit of
Somebody might
meat.
have a peanut allergy. You know what I mean? Have a special diet. No gluten. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we like
gotta take care of them.
gluten-free.
Right.
So it goes towards all of those things. And this year has been really amazing, not just with the team, but one, we have an all-girl team for the first time. which is
estrogen in the house.
So it's super fresh to have all young women rocking and speaking on more than just women's issues.
That's right.
Speaking
Oh my
on
God.
race, gender, sexuality, religion, the whole gamut of things being much larger than just their gender.
That's right.
And
It's
I think
it's their experience as a human being.
absolutely.
That's what's so powerful.
It's so powerful,
Yeah.
and that's amazing. On top of the fact that I've been the lead coach since 2009. Javon Johnson actually started the team with me. He was my co-coach for many years.
That's right.
Until he had to move, to teach at San Francisco State. And then Rudy Francisco came on with me, and it's been a great experience having him an assistant coach.
Rudy's dope too.
Rudy's dope too.
Rudy's dope.
But this year,
Yeah.
what's the dopest thing about this team is that we have 2 alumni from the team that have now come back to coach, which is Chris Bragg and Trey Bain, who were on our team for 3 years, and now they're coming back in a leadership position to coach the young people. And just seeing that cycle, right? Of like, okay, you were raised in it, you were given, you were poured into, and now watching them come back and pour into young people. That's been
amazing.
the most
and
amazing
you love that. I
thing.
mean, that's the power of community. Like having those people. You just like even myself. We talked about this at the last fundraising dinner where I used to be a 5th grade teacher, right? And I would perform poetry for my kids as a teacher. And now I've joined my first board. As the first, organization that I decided to join the board on was Say Word, as a poet. Working for an organization that brings poetry into the classroom. And I've recently started working with Chris Bragg, Say Word poet, in my business. Like, it's just the power of community and the power of good people and the power of people that, like Thea said, care deeply.
Yeah, and that's what's been so amazing, even in like DPL and the bridge to Say Word, is that, when I started slamming, my first 4 teams that I were on were through Hollywood,
That's
DPL.
right. That's right.
And we visited Final Stage, and it's been really amazing. And so I'm just glad to see the next generation of kids, like going to an international festival, being able to use their voice, watching the cycle continue from, them aging out of one thing, but still pouring back into another.
That's right. Still having a way to continue to use their voice for good.
Absolutely.
You do too. Keep donating. And I'm going to take it back to SHIHAN because I don't even know. I think we're getting ready now to reveal the big winner.
Yes.
And it's getting exciting.
It is. I'm actually more excited for
You
to
better
see
get in
everybody
there.
else.
You need to get in there because you don't know what's going to happen.
No.
You might win, Kat.
Oh my God.
You might take the whole thing.
God.
Go,
Oh my God.
Kat. Just go. Go. SHIHAN, where you at?
Give it up for Simply Cat and SEKOU back there. And again, I was saying floating links, but actually the link is in the description. So to donate, click the link in the description. Tube Start, the Poetry Lounge, Say Word, support, good cause. And y'all want to know who won this slam? All right, before we do that, they've had a job the entire time scoring all these amazing poems. So show them love first. Give it up. And I'm going to bring each judge up here just to introduce themselves and dance. So they're going to have 8 seconds of dance time. So coming up to stage first, give it up, Kevin. Come on, Kevin. All right. Now, Kevin, explain to them why you came today.
What's going on, guys? I'm Kevin. Just wanted to, support Say Word and DPL and giving back so people can continue through this great organization and really use poetry as a catalyst in their own lives. Yeah.
All right, give it up. Give it up. All right, so we need help for this because we do not have a radio in here. So it's 8 seconds of interpretive dance. So on a count of 3, you're going to do 8 seconds of interpretive dance. 3, 2, 1, and go. Yes, 8 seconds. Give it up for Kevin, y'all. Give it up for Kevin. All right, that's how it works. All right. Thank you very much, Kevin. We very appreciate we really appreciate that. All right, coming up to say now, put him up for Dion, y'all. Give it up for Dion. Give it up for Dion.
My name is Dion Bosco. I'm one of the contestants' brother, but I didn't give him that high of a score. I didn't give him. He didn't advance to the second round. So there it is. There it is.
All right. So.
Wait. Why did I come here?
Yeah. Why'd you come here?
Because the guy told me to come here, Dante, and I was PAing, and then he said, you know what? Can you judge? Because he knows I'm an artist, and he said, you know what? I think you have a good eye and a good ear, and I'll judge. So I judged. I did it, and I did it. That's it.
All right. So you know what the rule is. There is 8 seconds of interpretive dance for you. On the count of 3. 1, 2,
Since it's about poetry, okay, go ahead.
3. Go. Yeah, that was 8 seconds. That was 8 seconds. Yes. All right. That was Dion. All right, coming up to the stage. Give it up for Sipes. Y'all give it up for Sipes. All right, Sipes. Tell us why you're here.
How am I going to follow that up?
I don't know.
I can't dance like that. But I'm here because I believe that word is the most powerful thing. Basically, you create your reality with word. It's what I do for a living. I'm the voice of a lot of big cartoon characters. Michelangelo on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Beast Boy on Teen Titans Go. What's up? and it really has a very powerful effect around the whole world, you know, just your voice. So I love supporting anything that inspires people to use their voice. And I've never done spoken word or poetry. I was thinking instead of my bad dance, I could try one, like a poem.
Go ahead.
Well, it's time to get moving and quick, because when I hand come, it come heavy and thick. There ain't no escaping, jaw elimination. Laws don't mean nothing when the mountains start gaping. Yeah, that's it.
And he filled out the last 8 seconds with that last 2-step. Give it up one more time for Sipes. Y'all give it up for Sipes. All right, Ricky. Ricky Shucks, come in. This is Ricky Shucks. Y'all give it up for Ricky Shucks. Your 4th judge.
What's up, y'all? My name is Rick. I just got an email that said charity in it, so I was like, okay, cool. And then the rest of the email said it was gonna be girls there that like chunky black guys, so I was like, okay, cool. He lied to me about that part.
Are you ready for
My agent actually said I can't do dances for 8 seconds.
No. All right, here we go. Ready? Count down 3.
Does it have to be interpretive?
No, you could have a routine if you got one. I wish
give
I
it
had
to you.
the beats. 1, 2, 3, go.
Slip it that. That was 8.
There you go. Give it up. All right. Alicia, give it up for your final judge, Alicia. All right. Hello.
Hello, everybody. My name's Alicia Gopal, and I'm here because we're here for a great cause, Say Word. So, Alicia loves the kids.
Okay. Loves the kids. All right. So, dance time.
Alicia really doesn't dance, but I can 2-step for you for 8 seconds.
2-step could work. All right. Go ahead. 1, 2, go. That works. That's 8 seconds. All right. That works. All right. So one more time, give it up for your judges, y'all. Give it up for your judges one more time. And if y'all had a wonderful time, give it up. Give it up for every poet who kept up on stage. Give it up again. Give it up for Say Word. Give it up for Say Word. Give it up for the Poetry Lounge. And it's time to announce the winner of the slam. It was extremely close. So I will read the scores in reverse order and bring each poet up on stage. So you clap it up for them as they're brought up. So in 3rd place with a 58.1. Give it up for NQ, y'all. Give it up for NQ. NQ. All right, so NQ. Tell you a little bit about NQ. NQ is dope. There you go. All right. And it's crazy. We're talking about youth poetry. When I met NQ, we were both teenagers doing poetry. It's crazy because we have this now. All right. So in 2nd place with a 58.3. That's how close it was. Only 0.2 separating. Give it up for Thea MONYEE, y'all. Give it up for Thea MONYEE. Give it up for Thea. All right, so Thea, let's see. I met Thea. Were you a teenager? 2001, 2000? Ah, that's not fair. Well, she was a teenager. In my mind. And in everybody's mind. There we go. Yeah, we exist in the time capsule. All right, so, and in first place, with a 58.4.1 difference. Give it up for Kat, y'all. Give it up for Simply Kat McGill, the founder of Say Word, who I know for sure I met when she was a teenager, like 16 years old. It's crazy. All right, so SEKOU. SEKOU was a teenager as well. Not really, but SEKOU, what you got for us back there, man?
I was nowhere near a teenager when you met me, homie. I wish. I got a little too much of this for that. Listen, Kat took the whole poetry slam, and that's fitting because Kat started the whole event, the whole organization. It started with her, it's ending with her, but it's not about her. It's about everything that happened in between. It's about every poet that touched stage. There's a reason why you heard us playfully not even being concerned about the points. One of the sayings that they have in slam is that the points are not the point. The poetry is the point. And for this particular slam, the charity slam, the purpose of it is the point. The community is the point. The leadership and excellence and success that this organization, Say Word, is creating, that's the point. The possibilities that are possible because of what you donate, because of how you give, that is the point. So please, please, please make sure that you take some time right now, click on the links, give $1, give $50, give $500, give $1,000, get one of these poets to present in your living room or at your business or wherever you want by bidding on that perk, or just give $15 and walk away with a chapbook from one of the youth poets. Whatever you do, continue to make the possibilities that Say Word is creating. Let that be your point. Let that be to donate, to share with everyone that you know, to hashtag out there, to post it on social media. Hashtag, what is it? Let me make sure I got it right. All-Star Charity Slam. Hashtag All-Star Charity Slam, and continue to spread the word about Say Word. This has been the very first Charity Slam put on by the Poetry Lounge every Tuesday night in Los Angeles. Make sure you come through, as well as Say Word. Make sure you go to saywordla.org for more information on that. I have been your host, the world's leading poetic voice, SEKOU Andrews, also a member of Say Word and a member of the Poetry Lounge. Proud to be here. Hope you are as well. We're going back and we're closing it out. Thank you very much for everything that you guys are doing. And also thank you for the people that have donated up until now, for the people that have been a part of the organization, that have been in the classrooms. Thank you to you. Thank you guys to those of you that have been training and coaching the slam team to go kill the stage at BMV in Atlanta. Thank you to all of you that have been personally, that have come and supported the organization through myself, through the other board members, through the instructors. It takes a community to make this happen. We appreciate you being part of our community. So I just continue to thank you. And I hope that you enjoyed yourself. The first annual Charity Slam. If you continue to support, we'll make sure we come back and get bigger and better every year. I'm proud of this. I hope you are too. Hashtag All-Star Charity Slam, baby. Peace.
All right, y'all. One more time, give it up for SEKOU Andrews, y'all. Give it up for SEKOU, the Misfit Andrews. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, everybody for supporting this. Say Word, the Poetry Lounge. Please, please, please donate. Click the link in the description to start. Find out more about Say Word LA, the Poetry Lounge support, and we thank you very much for tuning in. Again, these are all the performers from today. Dante, Thea, Kat, King, NQ, Javon, Bo, Rosalind, Marissa, Ariel, and Julia. So give it up for everybody who came and did their thing today. Give it up for Maker Studios for allowing us the space to put this on. Your judges as well. My name is SHIHAN Van Cleef. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see y'all soon in a city near you.